Ball State SportsLink's Third Down Chirp is presented by Papa John's. Better ingredients, better pizza. Log on to papajohns.com today for more info.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Third Down Chirp, delivered by Papa John's. I'm your host, Luke Martin, alongside Torey Fox, Connor Onion. Guys, the Cardinals began the 2014 season the same way they did the previous 3 years under head coach Pete Limbo, and that is getting that important win. And as we look back at the Colgate win 30-10, Torey, what stood out to you about the big win over the Raiders?
Well, Ball State simply did enough. It wasn't perfect, it wasn't flashy, but Ozzie Mann was comfortable on the football field, looked confident in the pocket. Horatio Banks and Kevon Mabon looked healthy. They had big games because of it, and just like that, Ball State's 1 for 1. Coach Limbo, got to be happy.
Well, defensively, two guys really stood out for me. First, at the linebacker position, Ben Ingle did a great job shedding blocks and finding the ball carriers of the Colgate Raiders. And also, on the defensive line, Michael Ayers at defensive end. Relentless in pursuit of the football. A couple times he was opposite of play side, chasing guys down all the way across the field, something he'll need to continue with a couple of guys banged up this week.
It seems like the Cardinals surpassed the expectations of Torey Fox and Connor Onion. Let's see if they surpass the expectations of Ball State football's head coach, Pete Limbo. We caught up with the head coach earlier this week, and here's what Coach Limbo had to say about the big win over Colgate.
Well, it was Ball State football. It's the 2014 version. A lot of new faces. Some guys back in the lineup that missed a lot of playing time because of injury last year. We operated on offense the way you hope to operate with our no-huddle system, and did a good job of keeping everybody on the same page. On the defensive side of the ball, we only had 54 snaps, and that's a good thing. They had to punt 8 times, 5 3-and-outs. They only had 90 yards rushing for a run-heavy team. That's a really good day for us. Special teams-wise, we missed on a few opportunities to blow the game open. Had a kickoff return for a touchdown, called back. Also had a turnover that we lost because of an illegal formation on punts. So those are disappointing because we have high expectations in special teams, and we've been really, really sound there. But I don't want to take away from the good things we did in the kicking game either.
Now it's time to put Colgate in the past and focus on the next opponent, which is the Iowa Hawkeyes. And to get that Hawkeye perspective, let's welcome on the phone line the voice of the Iowa Hawkeyes going into his 18th season in Iowa City, Gary Dolphin. Gary, we appreciate you taking time to join us here on Third Down Chirp. What's the feeling like about this Iowa football team heading into the 2014 season after week 1?
Let's start defensively, Luke. First off, good to be on with you. That's where their most critical graduation losses were, with those 3 All-Big Ten linebackers, Morrison, Hitchens, and Kirksey, and they're all on NFL rosters right now. It's a typical Kirk Ferentz team. They want to run the ball first, run that option, hit the short to medium range passes. They really didn't take a look downfield last week other than 1 or 2 times, and I'm guessing they want to do more of that this week.
The past 2 games, Gary, have not been close in Iowa City, but this is a different Ball State football team. Does Iowa understand that, knowing this is a different bunch of Cardinals coming to Iowa City this time around?
Without question. If you know Kirk Ferentz at all, his guys are very reflective of his attitude and his mentality, and that is you have respect for every opponent. And so it's a Ball State team that they have the utmost respect for. These kids that are playing now, Luke, weren't around 3-4 years ago or 8 years ago when Iowa played Ball State the previous 2 times. So to them, they see that big old Cardinal on the helmet. It's another tough opponent. Obviously, Iowa has a lot of respect for the Mid-America Conference. Iowa takes on MAC foe after MAC opponent year in, year out. And they understand what they're getting here Saturday. And obviously, Pete Limbo's done a great job with that program in 3 short years.
It should be a fun game regardless Saturday afternoon. Gary, thanks so much for joining us here on Third Down Chirp, and look forward to seeing you in Iowa City.
Sounds good, Luke. Look forward to having the Cardinals come out to Iowa City. It should be a great atmosphere.
Once again, that was the voice of the Hawkeyes, Gary Dolphin. We heard the Iowa perspective. Now let's get the Cardinal perspective on the Hawkeyes with our third down chirp scouting report with offensive coordinator Joey Lynch and defensive coordinator Kevin Kelly.
Well, they got a great scheme, and the quarterback is what I call a great distributor. He takes what they give you, or what they give them, and he does a great job of putting the ball where he wants to put it. It also starts with their offensive line. It's very good, so he's able to do those types of things. So that's why you see a lot of people playing, a lot of people catching footballs.
Well, I think it all starts with their defensive front, and I think more than that, it starts with their defensive tackles. They got two experienced defensive tackles that are big, active, play really hard, and really cause a lot of disruption. And they're a run-stopping defense. I mean, they're a true traditional Big Ten defense that's physical and wants to stop the run, and gets their safeties down in the box, and so it all starts up front for them, and they're always going to stop the run first.
Now it's time for the big three here on Third Down Chirp, which are the three key facts, the big facts you need to know for this weekend's contest against the Iowa Hawkeyes. And for that, we welcome in the fourth member of our talent team, Ryan Bickford. Bickford, great to have you on the show. Very interested to see what three facts you picked for us this week.
And Luke, I am excited to share with you guys. We'll get right into it and start with our first fact, is the Iowa Hawkeyes obviously own a 2-0 all-time head-to-head record over the Cardinals and outscoring them 101-0. But these Cardinals were not those Cardinals. Since Coach Limbo has taken over the program in 2011, the Cardinals are 4-3 all-time against automatic qualifying conference teams. And finally, with our last trend with the Hawkeyes, they own a 20-4 all-time record against the Mid-American Conference, so a lot of success there, Luke.
Guys, as we just heard, Coach Bickford gave us the big three facts to watch out for. Now let's give the fans our three X factors for the game. Torey, first for you. Who are you watching Saturday afternoon?
Well, I'm taking a look at the offensive line, all right? This unit returned 3 starters from last season. They have more depth than they did last season, and against Colgate, they got the job done. They allowed 0 sacks, created a bunch of running lanes for Juwan Edwards and Horatio Banks. And if you're going to beat Iowa on the road, Ball State's going to have to score a lot of points. I'm looking at the offensive line, Connor.
I'm going over to the defensive side of the ball, looking at Brian Jones against Colgate. Not really many game-changing plays on that side of the ball. Not a turnover, not a sack, only 1 tackle for a loss. He was a guy all over the field last season, 2 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 1 for a touchdown. If you force some turnovers and make Iowa be one-dimensional on the offensive side of the ball, you have a very good chance of winning this football game.
Torey's cheating. He took a group. I'm taking one guy, Juwan Edwards. Juwan, 24 carries for 155 yards and 3 touchdowns against Virginia last year. The key was 6.1 yards per carry. If Juwan can repeat that, Cardinals are going to have a great chance Saturday afternoon. That does it for this week's episode of Third Down Chirp, delivered by Papa John's. Remember, Ball State Sports Link is on social media. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Just search BSU Sports Link. For our producer this week, Alex Seitz, our talent team, Ryan Bickford, Torey Fox, Connor Onion. I'm Luke Martin saying so long from Studio A here at WIPB. Go Cardinals, beat the Hawkeyes.